lads, Daz Hartnett is with me again today. Today we have an international video because Ireland have two important World Cup qualifiers coming up in Serbia and against Luxembourg at home. You're going to pick your 1 to 11, Daz. We'll just go through the squad as well and pick a few bits and pieces on that too. But Serbia away, it's a tough opener, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first World Cup qualifier we're having. It's a big game. Stephen Kenny hasn't got a win yet, so I don't really have this notion of a draw is a good result. We need a win. We need to get a win. A win's a good result, not a draw. We need to get a win. We need to get a win on the board. I can't stress that enough. He'll be going out to get a win, hopefully. It's away. There is no games being played in Ireland, obviously, with COVID, and the team's training in Manchester City. So they're trying to limit the flights and all that kind of carry on because I think we lost like 12 players, social distancing rules last time. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Two very important up-and-coming games coming.
We'll go through the goalkeepers, actually. We've O'Hara, Kelleher, Bazunu, Travers in the squad. What do you make of that? No Westwood.
No Westwood, and obviously no Randolph. Randolph's probably one of our best players in recent years. He's an absolutely massive miss for us, and he really kept us in a lot of games, and he won us a lot of points, and he got us out of a lot of tricky situations. Even if you look back to recent seasons against Gibraltar, he kept us in that game. A lot of people tend to forget that. In terms of the goalkeepers, he selected 4. Kelleher is a doubt. He has been out of Liverpool's team for 6 weeks with a niggling injury, so that's a bit of a concern for me. Travers, we did go alone. He's been recalled. He's still not really getting in the team over there. O'Hara, he's iffy. He's played for Ireland, but he's not really lighting anything up over there either. He's also in League One. Bazunu is actually our only starting keeper in the 3 leagues of Premier League, Championship, League One. So Bazunu has been consistently playing every week. So we've got 4 keepers, 4 inexperienced keepers. No Westwood either. Westwood, I believe, by his own admission, chose not to be included.
Because I think he might have started, to be honest, in many ways because of his experience, etc. But Bazunu there, he's a good goalkeeper, but vastly hasn't got the experience, really. Kelleher, I think you might as well write off, to be honest. It's looking unlikely he's going to be playing, I would suggest. But before we get into your selection, we'll get into the defenders first. We've got Coleman, Doherty, Duffy, Stevens, Long, Clark, O'Shea, Manning and Christie. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think right away when you're looking at it, we've got 4 fullbacks, you might as well say, in the team. You've got Manning, you've got Stevens, you've got Coleman, you've got Doherty. You've got Christie as well, actually. So it's 5, 5. So that could suggest to me he could be playing Doherty and Coleman or one of the 2 in each of the games. So it'd be interesting to see if he puts both of them in the team. Notable absentee for me is Darragh Lenihan. He's starting every week for Blackburn. He has been the last few seasons, and he's the club captain, and he's in the Championship, doing pretty good with them. So it's a bit disappointing to let him out, and brought the likes of Kevin Long in from Burnley, who's not really playing with them. But he basically picked who he could then out of the rest of them, I suppose.
Even Christie there, you would have thought to put Lenihan in ahead of Christie, because as you said, we've got Coleman, Doherty, Stevens, Manning, and O'Shea, by the way. Darragh O'Shea can play full back as well. So
yeah, O'Shea even played left back for Ireland, so he can play the whole way across back 4.
So personally, I'm not a fan of Christie. Probably said it before, but Lenihan, I think, might be in a better shape there. Obviously, Egan's a big loss as well, isn't he?
Egan's a massive loss. Stephen Kenny actually said in the fan preview thing we had there a few weeks ago that Egan was centred how Ireland play, that we like to play with him, we used to pass the ball around with him, ping a pass out with him, play from the back with him. So if you reckon a lot of your play with one player and he's not there, you have to change how you play. I don't think Kenny's going to start change formations to 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. He'll stick with a back 4, I believe. So that's a big loss for us as well.
Any surprise in midfield, do you think? We've got Hourihan, Brown, Hendrick, Malumbi, Cullen and Knight.
Well, I think with the midfield, we've got 3 informed players. You've got Hourihan, you've got Cullen, you've got Knight. They're playing and they're playing well at the club. So it's good to see that. I don't really think there's many other midfielders we could have really included. There was shouts about, players like McGeady. He's in the wing, but you could play him attack midfield either. I probably wouldn't have had him. But yeah, looking through the midfield, we have a few options, albeit not many. There's a few players there like Malumbi, he's not even getting into the team with Preston. Hendrick, he's in really poor form, so we're a bit iffy on numbers. One or two injuries now, suspensions could put us under a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, in the wing we've got McLean, Horgan, Curtis, O'Dowda and Brady. Of course, Brady could be considered a midfield option as well, but the wing, I don't know, it doesn't seem very... Connolly technically could play there as well, and Robinson, they're down as strikers, but they could play there as well. But you're looking at McLean, Horgan, Curtis, O'Dowda. Do you see any of them actually starting, funnily enough? We'll come on to that, actually. We'll come on to that. So maybe just talk about the players a little bit first there, yeah. We'll get on to that later when we go through the 1 to 11.
Yeah, so when you're looking at the wingers, McLean's experience, he could go with experience. He needs heads in the game. He needs someone who's been there and done that. He needs someone who knows it. He could go with McLean there. Brady, a lot of managers tend to play Brady for a set piece delivery. He could be an option that could go there. As you said there, you've got Connolly and Robinson. Robinson hasn't played much football. Mightn't play him. Connolly does play in the wing for Brighton a few times, and he has played there for Ireland. So he's looking at a shout you could put there. We're a bit light on informed players for the wings. That's the issue, but that's across the whole team, not just the wings. So we are a bit light on wingers, yes.
That's an issue, yeah, because strikers, we've got Robinson, Connolly, Connolly suffered a few injuries as well in that. We've got Shane Long, who's back in the Championship. Collins, obviously, Luton, and Troy Parrott. Again, not many options in terms of form there. Is there people getting goals, to be honest with you? Funnily enough, the best one at the moment is probably McGoldrick, and we don't have him available. He's retired, so...
Yeah, that's been an issue though, Ireland, I think, since Robbie Keane went to LA. We haven't really had a striker. I know McGoldrick's been playing, like you said, and scoring, but we haven't had someone who's actually been scoring every week or scoring every 2 or 3 weeks. There hasn't been, and Shane Long hasn't been getting into Southampton. He left on loan, obviously. It's 2 goals and 8 appearances, I believe, for Bournemouth. But he's still not starting every week there. He's coming on the bench or he's starting here and there. You're looking at Collins. He has a good few goals for Luton this season, but he's not he's not actually starting every week either. Troy Parrott, obviously only 18. He dropped down the division again on loan to get game time, scored his first senior goal. He's only a kid. He's only 18. 2 years ago, he was only 16. When you think about it, he's very, very young. We're very light on forwards too, and Duffy is still our only goal scorer, only under Stephen Kenny.
Yeah, obviously Adam Ida's missing as well. He's had a few injury problems at Norwich City, unfortunately, as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Adam Ida, he was one he was relying on, I think, at the start when he was playing. He threw him up there up front, hoping he might nick a goal or get a few minutes or do something. Didn't really set the world alight either, but he is out as well. So look, we're light going forward as well, but he probably will only go up one striker. So you're looking at one out of a few of them options with someone to come on maybe. I think though it's good having the likes of Troy Parrott in the team. He's young, experienced. He probably is the future. He's the best of our prospects at the minute. So it's good to have him there. I've seen a lot of people giving out why is he there, but I think if you're going to have him there or someone else, if you're going to go down the league, there's not really anybody else really there, so you might as well have him included.
Yeah, it's as if we're Italy or France or something, and we can just leave players like that in the under 21 squads for a long time because we haven't got the quality and the depth in the forwards. No. You're 1 to 11. I'm guessing you're going to go with a 4-3-3. I'd imagine we'll go with. What do you think? Yeah,
a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. One of them systems. I think that's realistic as well. He's not going to go 3 to back. He's not going to go 3-5-2. He's just not going to. So we're not going to go that way. I suppose we'll start off the goalkeeper. Kelleher, like we said, he's a doubt. He's a doubt. I probably would have him starting if he's fit to play. I probably would have had Westwood there, but he's not there. So we're going to talk about people who's in the team. Kelleher would be my number one, but if he's a doubt and he doesn't play, I suppose you're looking at Travers then. Bazunu is playing. It's a big toss-up. Travers got that bit more experience. He's played in the Premier League. He got man of the match in the Premier League. He's been in the Irish system a while now. He's been in Stephen Kenny's squads. He's been in senior squads. Bazunu is only a kid in goals. I have asked in Rochdale fans forum, what do they make of him? Now I'm going by what fans are saying here. They said he made a few costly errors. He was at fault for a few of the goals. His distribution was good. be good to have him in the team, and he is the only keeper that's starting every week. I think we need to remember that. So, look, all goalkeepers are experienced. None of them, bar Bazunu, are actually playing. So I would go with Keller and goals. Should he not be available, I probably want to pick Bazunu. Oh, sorry, Travers.
Travers, yeah. Right back, who are you going for?
Look, for me, it's nailed on. It has to be Seamus Coleman. He's captain. He's experienced. We need experience. He's been there. He's done it. It has to be Coleman for me.
Yeah. Left back?
Left back, I went with Stevens. He's playing in the Premier League. He's playing against the best every week. He's probably gone and relegated with Sheffield, but he'll be looking to really put himself out there now for Ireland. He want to play well, so I'd go with Stevens. He's playing every week. So, Stevens for me.
Their partnership, who do you see there?
Kieran Clark for me, left centre back. He's a good shout for there. Premier League, he's playing with Newcastle. He's doing okay. He's got a good few caps for Ireland. I'd have Kieran Clark, and beside him, I put Darragh O'Shea. Put him in ahead of Duffy. Duffy has been well club form with Celtic, as we probably all know by now. He's been okay for Ireland, but I think O'Shea is the future too. And he's getting game time with West Brom, and he can play anywhere across the back four. I think it's time to blood him in and get him in that spot. So that's who I want for there.
Do you think Kenny will pick Duffy though? Yourself personally?
I personally think he will. I think he'll go with him. Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, he'll probably go with him for one of the games anyway. He'll definitely probably bring him on anyway, but he could go with him. Yeah.
As you said as well, the thing is the threat from set pieces, and we don't really have many goal scoring threats, so that could come into play as well. It's a difficult one, I have to say. It's not easy to pick this starting 11, I have to say. Even I think a lot of people would be tossing up in the goalkeeper as well. It's an interesting one though. So we're going for Coleman right back, we're going with Stevens left back, we're going with Clark and O'Shea so far. So who are you going for in midfield?
Now, I went for a midfield three, obviously. For me, I think the first name on the team sheet, let alone midfield, has to be Horan. Drop down, he's playing with Swansea, he's starting every week, he's playing a bit more advanced, he's scoring free kicks, he's taking set pieces, he's scoring goals, setting things up. He's the most informed player. Horan has to start in an advanced playmaker position for me in midfield. And the other two I went with then is Cullen, and I went with Knight. Cullen's playing every week for Anderlecht. He's abroad. He's a technical footballer. He can pass the ball. I think he deserves to be in the team. And Knight's in really good form with Derby, and Wayne Rooney raves about him. So Wayne Rooney's raving about him. He has to have something about him. I've seen him play with Derby, and I rate him pretty high. He can play right midfield, centre midfield, anywhere across midfield. So that's the midfield three I went with.
I'd agree with that. I have a feeling he'll play Hendrick though.
I really hope not, but I think he will.
Yeah, I think it will as well. I feel sorry for Malumbi a little bit because it's a strange one. I don't get it because the games he played for Ireland, I thought he looked quite good, and obviously he went along to Preston. The fact he isn't getting a game at Preston is very surprising, I have to say. Disappointing. I don't know what the problem is, but obviously he didn't really make it at Brighton. There's a lot of good midfielders there, in fairness, as well. But yeah, I'm very surprised he struggled to get in at Preston. It's a bit disappointing. He's young, but he's not one of the youngest of the young. He's 21, you get me? What do you make of that yourself, actually, before we kick on?
Yeah, I do think it's disappointing. He obviously went with every intention of playing and kicking on from Millwall, which he did very well in. And I expected him when he went back to the Championship, he'll light it up now. He'll play with Preston, and he'll probably get either a permanent move to Preston, or who knows, go back to Brighton and get into their team. Disappointing. He'd probably try and kick on next season, go and loan somewhere else again. I'm disappointed that he's not playing, but he is in the Ireland team. He could be used, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. On the wing now, I think this is a tough one as well, isn't it, to predict who's going to play wide?
Yeah, look, we discussed the wings, and we're limited in options as it is, aren't we? We're limited in options of players playing well, let alone in the wing positions.
We 4 or 5 players that put into a hat, basically, and pick 2 out. Let's be honest about it.
That's it, that's it. And O'Dowd is only back from injury. He played the other week. McLeay, he's very experienced. He's someone we could use. But I went with, on the left wing, I went with Aaron Connolly. I think he's got pace. He's got something about him. He played out for Ireland. He'd be comfortable going forward. He got a good work rate. He got strong energy. I went with Aaron Connolly there. I think he's one of the best options for that position.
Right wing, so.
Yeah, this might surprise a few people, but other people might be in favour of. I actually went with Doherty, right wing. he is playing with Spurs. He's played in the Europa League, he's played in the Cup, he's played in the Premier League. He's a bit more advanced with them. He's getting up and down the field. I'd like to see him try it with Coleman again. I believe it could work. It'd be interesting to see. I went with Doherty there. He's playing in the biggest club out of all them teams for us as well. I went with Doherty there. I'd like to see him there.
That'd be an interesting one, actually. Who's going to play up front then? Again, we could come up with completely different players here, couldn't we? But it'd be interesting to see.
I actually picked Shane Long. I know he's 34 now. He's come to the end of his career. He's still available. Look, he went on loan. He's playing a few minutes. He scored 2 goals in the championship. He'll be experienced. He will run. He'll try. He'll put his heart in. He'll press from the front. He'll defend from the front. He's experienced again. He'll be great role model for the likes of Troy Parra, who's there. I went with Shane Long there. Yeah, he's the most experienced player in the team as well. In that, all of theirs.
So that's interesting, Daz. You've gone with your goalkeeper was Travers, wasn't it? If Kelleher's missing, anyway.
Yeah.
You went for right back Coleman, left back Stephen, centre back Clark and O'Shea. Midfield three of Horahan, Knight and Cullen, which could be interesting as well. On the wing, we went for McLean, wasn't it?
Connolly.
Connolly. I'm right, haven't I? McLean and Connolly, yeah?
No, Connolly and Doherty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Connolly and Doherty. That's an interesting. It'd be interesting to see how Doherty does on the right wing if he was to play there. I have a feeling he won't go with him, though. I have a feeling he will go McLean himself personally. And obviously up front, you've gone with Shane Long, who, to be honest with you, I think it's a toss-up between him and Collins, unless he decides to go with Connolly up front for that movement and plays McLean and someone else on the wing. It's a very difficult team to choose. I think you could get 10 people in the room now and actually pick different 11s, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think, though, with Stephen Kenny, too, he's probably going to go with McLean in the wing, Connolly up front, and Hendrick could even play right midfield, right wing. He could go like that. Hendrick could even be central midfield. I believe he only brought Knight in that time because of all the COVID stuff and injuries. He wasn't even in the squad to start off with, so...
Yeah, I also think he'd probably play Duffy as well, and I suppose... I can see why you would play Duffy as well because of set pieces and things like that as well. And for Ireland, his performances, I suppose, weren't terrible as such in Kenny's tenure, but it was more so with Celtic and that. So he'll probably go with that. But look, it's going to be a difficult 2 games. I think Serbia away is a massive, massive match. Obviously, if you were to give a prediction, what are you saying for Serbia away?
Well, I think, firstly, I think Stephen Kenny probably will go with Duffy and McLean and then boys. He'll probably be hoping to get a draw at Serbia and he'll go with the most experienced players available. So you're not going to lodge Duffy, you're not going to lodge Hendrick, you're not going to lodge McLean, and you're going to put Connolly up front or Shane Long. He could do that, and I say he will do that. If I'm to go with a prediction, my heart's telling me a win, my head's telling me 0-0.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Right, guys, thank you very much. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Put down your best of 11 if you like yourself and give us a score prediction. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. Excellent stuff, Daz. Hopefully we're singing. When's it? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All the best, Keith. Thanks very much.